So here is how she pretty much ended up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today it is time for a 370Z hydro install. Now I've had this car for about a month or two now, and it is time to put in the ASD hydro that I have. This car is mainly going to be a little drift car. So that being said, I went ahead and got this ASD. It's a reverse mount hydro, so that way I can hopefully retain most of my interior with this car, since it is currently my daily as well. So I went ahead and started pulling out the interior, got a little carried away, but the idea behind it is keep the hydro about right here, and it's reverse mount, so that way I can have my stock seat for now, and then one day when I get a bucket seat or whatnot, I'll still have room. And but I'm gonna put all the interior back, so that's about where I want it, close to the steering wheel, something like that. What I'm gonna do now after I took out all the interior is super easy to come out. Just a bunch of Phillips screws. Pops out, like everything's super loose. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this carpet back right here. Peel that back. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit of it, about like that little sliver. That way I can have something to weld to. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna take this step by step and probably show you what I did afterwards. A little bit of trial and error, because like I said, I've never really done this, and not that many people have done the 370Zs. It's definitely kind of a rare thing to do. And like I said, I'm trying to keep the stock interior and keep it nice, since it is kind of a daily, but should be sweet when it's done. Alright guys, so I think I figured out the plan. I went ahead and sliced that carpet back. There is some sound deadening, so I'm gonna have to pull this carpet back a little bit more. I'm gonna get the sound deadening ground down, smooth it all out. I'm gonna put a plate up against the tranny tunnel, and then I'm gonna get another plate and put that up against the, weld that up against the previous plate. That way I can have the hydro, and then that way I can bolt the two bolts in the hydro on that secondary plate and have it sit about right here. So it's gonna sit kind of low, but like about where midway point through the steering wheel is. I gotta run to Home Depot, pick up some of that steel, and that way we can get to welding. Just got back from Home Depot, picked up that piece of steel there. Seems like it'll work pretty well. I went ahead and sliced this carpet back a little bit, made two little slices, so hopefully I can go ahead and just plop it back and can't really tell or whatnot. That way when we go ahead and slice a little piece off this and start mocking it up. Well, I got most of the sound deadening out of the way. Now I just need to grind that down, get it to bare metal so I can lay some weld. And I need to take a measurement and see exactly how long I want this piece that goes up against the tranny. I got to figure out exactly how long that needs to be so I can sit where the hydro needs to sit, and that way I can cut another piece, same size, lay it up against it. Got it all ground down now. Now the tranny tunnel has a few little, if you can see right there in the middle, there's a little area that's kind of protruding out. I'm going to take a little hammer and tap that down, because I do have my little piece of metal here that I'm planning on sticking. I think it's about right here. So, and it's kind of wobbly. Just smush this down just a touch on the top, and maybe this one right here, it'll sit a lot flatter. That way I can tack it up and go from there.
Ooh, a little smoky. Here we go.
Now I'm about to go ahead and drill the holes for this plate before I weld it on. That way it'll be a little bit easier. Alrighty, got it all mounted up in here. Let me see if I can get some light on it. Don't look too close to the welds. I'm not very good at welding. I think she's in here. I was having a little bit of trouble with my spool again. I just keep rolling with it. But it's pretty much just a little shelf just sticking off the trans tunnel. That way I can plop that hydro on there, have the holes drilled. Now I'm gonna go ahead, let it cool off. Then I'm gonna hit it with some spray paint so that way it doesn't rust in there. That way we can mount up the hydro. Then I need to get the lines ready to run to the dual caliper in the back. Got her all mounted up in here. Must say it looks pretty good. Pretty pleased how it came out. Just mounted those two bolts. It's fairly close to the wheel, which is nice. But if you're really all over the place with your hands, you might get annoyed by it. But I can adjust this little link down here to push this either more this way or further back. I'll mess around with it and see how it feels. Now I'm gonna run the lines, so this little red dot right here. I'm gonna attach my brake line, probably run it where my finger is down here, and then just tuck it in the trim. And then might drill a hole right back here between these two seats and get it down below the car. I'll have to get the car up in the air exactly to see where that comes out. That way I can run these two little T's, where it tees off to both sides of the caliper. Here are the calipers I'm running. These are just stock 370Z calipers I got at O'Reilly's. I think they're like $111 a piece. Kind of a rip-off, but whatever, I got them. I want to make sure they all fit. Brand new, looking good. I need to go get some pads for those. I forgot to grab pads, and then we can toss them on. So it is currently a few weeks later. I'm currently in the middle of a radiator install for the Z. Let me kind of give you a quick overview of how the hydro came out and kind of where I mounted some things. So here is how she pretty much ended up, or at least for right now. It is tucked right behind the steering wheel. It's actually pretty close to the wheels, so there's not a whole lot of room whatsoever. However, whenever I get a deep dish wheel, it should offset it just a touch more. I haven't really had any issues with hitting my hand on the hydro. If you take a quick glance down here, you can kind of see the setup I have going on. I am missing a trim piece. I'm not sure. I might just leave it for now. I do need to put the other one on the other side though. Super nice how it came out. I cut this carpet just a touch right here. I need to cut it a little bit more so it'll sit more flush and this gap will be gone. But overall, not too bad. If I put a little more effort to it, I could get that trim piece maybe to sit a little bit behind it, or at least like cut it where it kind of looks like it fits. And then I just ran the lines underneath here, and it's currently under this middle console, and it goes straight down under the car to the wheels. Now this dual caliper hydro bracket is a little bit interesting. You do have to take like the entire axle out, which is a huge pain. I was a little bit confused on how to do it and thread it in from the front and stuff like that, but it works great. I shot the video such a long time ago, I don't even know quite what I included, so hopefully it helped you out if you were doing it. Overall, not a terrible setup. I would recommend getting new pads for both the foot brake and maybe some new rotors as well. That way it can all start out fresh, because I was having a problem where it was kind of dragging a little bit more on this side, I guess. But as those pads get worn down in there, that problem should kind of go away over time. Locks up really good, really happy with it. I'll go ahead and drop in some footage from the last drift event when I was trying it out. I didn't have angle, but I was using the hydro a lot and it worked perfectly. I really like the setup. I would recommend driving gloves, because over the course of 2 days my hand almost was kind of hurting really badly from the sharp kind of ASD style pull. But other than that, love the setup, works perfectly. So check out some of these shots. Alrighty everybody, that is going to wrap up this hydro install. I know there's not a whole lot 370Z kind of hydro drift mods quite yet. The car is still kind of getting there. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Stay up to date with the 370Z. You got lots of builds on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Catch you guys in the next one.